What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the dopest, Cancer. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot cards, but it's based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void of course, just all those lunar shenanigans. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you. Leave the rest with me. Never force reading on a situation, and everything will be... I already said dope, so... I want to say bomb, but yeah, we're just going with that, Cancer. Let's jump into it. That's how you kick off a moon day, Cancer. In Cancer, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. In Cancer, like I was saying, happy Moon Day. Moon is associated with Mondays. It's a great day to tap into your intuition there, Cancer. Do some introspective work. Maybe even do some things around the home there. This would be a great time to, really just be in that Cancerian energy there, Cancer. And how was your weekend, Cancer? Because we are going to... the energy we're going to talk about that I want to kind of highlight was that we just had the last quarter moon phase that happened with the moon being in Sagittarius and the sun being in Pisces yesterday on the 3rd of March. That would have been Sunday, Cancer. And it was at 7:24. Let's see. Am I just going to jump into it? Yeah, let's just jump into it, Cancer. So we're still in that energy today. The moon is in... Okay, hold on, Cancer. Let me do this properly. Cancer, the moon is in Sagittarius. I'm just excited to talk about all the energies here because this is a pretty interesting one, I feel, considering the energies. Because, with the last quarter moon... Oh, right. Let's shuffle as well. Dope. Thank your higher self. All right. But with squares, Cancer, usually with these quarter phases, the first quarter and this one, the last corner, this is an energy of letting go. We're in that waning phase of the lunar cycle. And this is usually a time of surrender and making space for what we're going to plan for the new moon. I'm really excited about this. It's going to be a new supermoon that's coming up in Pisces, Cancer. This is going to be I feel like a really, really exciting time. But the last quarter moon is when the sun and the moon are in that second square that happens. And squares happen when the planets are at 90 degrees. And this is happening at 13 degrees, 32 minutes. The sun's in Pisces and the moon is in Sagittarius, both mutable signs. So if you have any points or placements in any mutable placements, that's Pisces, Sag, Virgo, and Gemini, or in any water placements, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or any fire placements, Leo, but literally just anywhere. If you just have placements, Cancer, but look more specifically around those points, that's where you may notice this energy is affecting you a bit. You may feel it a bit more. But this is, I feel like, an interesting one that's happening because maybe for some, I feel this kind of the friction that could be happening here because squares, again, they bring about this tension that comes about, and part of me feels that maybe for some it's like inside, the moon in Sag is wanting this adventure, wanting to, get this new experience, wanting to grow, but there may still be that kind of nebulous feeling with the sun and Mercury on top of Saturn and Neptune being we have so much Pisces energy happening right now, so may have trouble knowing what we want to jump into. So that might have been something where we're noticing some friction there. And it might be too because on the same day, Venus and Uranus are squaring off as well. So a lot of tough conversations that are going on there. But I feel like these can be very helpful ones as well, because I like this square too that's happening with Venus and with Uranus, because Venus is in Aquarius and Uranus is in Taurus. They're both in mutual reception, which is when each planet or either planet is in the sign that the other is associated with. So Uranus is associated with Aquarius, Taurus with Venus. So it's an interesting conversation that the two are having. But I feel this is in trying to find who you are and maybe in this direction that you're going, that Venus in Aquarius is wanting to try kind of new innovative things, maybe listening to people you hadn't considered doing before or considered listening to before. Maybe this is watching some sort of like TED Talk or something that I feel like just kind of, again, broadens the mind, something that brings about this innovative spark there. And I feel like it may challenge your sense of security, but and maybe not even security, but more so just like that personal security. Maybe these changes spur up some things, they challenge some sort of things that you used to be locked on, that you held on to really tight. But I feel that then the sun comes in and is very compassionate with the growth that is happening. And, when we're talking about what planets are associated with what, where the moon is at, Jupiter is the one that's associated with Sag. And I feel with Jupiter being in Taurus, the sign that Venus rules, is all kind of tying together nicely there, Cancer, that could be this patience that's happening. And again, that compassion that could coming in, where keep that optimism of that Sagittarius energy, let you know like, okay, this is a tough time, but this is a time, if I can get through this, when the energies really start moving and what I learned from this thing, I can take into this new supermoon energy and plan bigger intentions, because now I've been pushed and now I can see where things are kind of headed there. You're understanding what you value more. And that could even be something too with that Venus and Uranus kind of square that's going on during this whole thing. You're trying to find this direction that you're wanting to go, and it's just like, who's influencing the dream, the Pisces energy, that sun. And I feel like that's where that moon placement, before we jump into that, it's kind of nice that it's being grounded with that, with the Jupiter being in Taurus, the Sagittarius ruler. So, and I feel like the nice thing too, Cancer, and then I'm gonna wrap this up, it's a lot of, I feel like this can be a lot of, I feel like there's going to be some resistance, but I feel like it's going to be a lot of things that are revealed, some obvious things that are just like, right, this is something that I need to take care of. This is something that I may not feel ready to, but it's in your orbit enough that it's like, I'm gonna have to do something about this eventually. You know what I mean, Cancer? And then also I feel like this is kind of nice because this gives an opportunity, because the moon and Mars are in a harmonious conversation, being in a sextile. So I could feel like that can bring about some excitable energies. We find in this struggle, we find innovative ways of going about this. We're trusting our instincts in a new type of way there. We're not just, there's, again, the Sagittarius energy doesn't just feel like it's just like hoping for the best. It feels like it's seeing this bigger picture here. And so that's what I feel this last quarter is going to reveal, some things that we need to let go in order to, to get this bigger picture. It's like we've tried to try to work in a different puzzle, like puzzle pieces got crossed, is what I'm kind of picturing here, Cancer. So now I feel like there's a thing where stuff is really kind of starting to come together. So hopefully that translates well. So this can be a time of being very intentional, Cancer, how we can work with that energy, being very intentional with where you're going, being patient with yourself, being kind with yourself, writing down a checklist, keeping this stuff, instead of keeping this stuff in your head with all of this, again, kind of Pisces energy right now, have it somewhere grounded, have it somewhere so you can make a vision board, even something to kind of help keep you on track, because we're getting ready to get through we're getting ready to get with this new supermoon come up. It's about to start up eclipse season. It's going to be an exciting time there, Cancer. So this is one I feel like we can really start doing some very good prep. And again, meet yourself where you're at. It's not about comparing yourself with others. That Venus in Aquarius, she's in this place where she's a little more comfortable in the crowd now. She's moving through Aquarius confidently. So I feel like this is inviting you to take what you value and walk in that confidently there, Cancer. As long as that's raising that vibration and keep you on your path, absolutely. So whew, a lot of energy with that Cancer. And if this is something you want to go further in there, Cancer, see how this energy is working with your chart, where this is happening, book a reading with me there, Cancer. I have links down in the description box with the services that I offer. There's also, you can follow me on Instagram as well. I'm posting stuff there, Cancer. I'm actually getting ready to start posting some more like fun stuff, I'm about as slow as Pluto's moving through Aquarius. I'm getting on this technological train because I'm like, I'm gonna be left behind because I've seen what anti-technology looks like, and where it's hilarious, it's it's out of don't quite have the luxury. So yeah, definitely check that stuff out there, Cancer. And it's interesting too where you can find where these points are happening. Like where this is happening for me, this square would have happened at. This tension would have been between my 5th house and my 8th house, which is actually very fascinating. It's like how I kind of find that happiness through the sharing of energies through others, and how that affects my self-expression. And yeah, just a lot of stuff to think about there, Cancer. But we can get into this stuff, kind of dissect it, make it a little more tangible, a little more grounded, or we can keep getting expensive, however you digest that. But definitely check that information down in the description box there, Cancer. And last few things, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. I have to include these too. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I enjoy watching their Cancer. They're doing some fantastic work. Definitely check them out. There's a link for an astrologer as well. She's actually doing great work too. There are some links for some podcasts I really enjoy, Cancer, and a link for some links for some apps that I really enjoy, Cancer. So definitely avail yourself of all that stuff to help expand this knowledge that so interests you, Cancer. Oh, but look at this. This is not Queen of Cups all day, but Cancer, you have the Mother of the Saltwaters card here for your general energy of the day. And this is passion, wild love, open your heart and let love in. And absolutely, Cancer, with all of this Pisces energy, absolutely open up your heart. I feel like this is let your love, and let all this love come in for yourself there, Cancer. This is a lot of stuff that we are going through, and it can be easy to get swept up in all of the stress and all of them. Even just thinking about salt water, that salt water can be abrasive, and this is a time to take care of yourself in this Pisces energy. This is forming, this is a lot of, depending on how much cancer energy or how much water you have in your chart, this is forming a lot of trines, and this could be a lot of fast moving energy for you, Cancer. It's a very harmonious energy with the trines, but sometimes that integration can be, how we get to that harmony can be a bit much. So this is a time to, I feel like, indulge in some passions there, Cancer. Find some things that you can do to express that internal world that you have. Cancerian energy is very imaginative, very creative. And so this could be where, I'm picturing you, Cancer, either just I'm just picturing you painting in watercolors, or this, and again, this is just something you just like dabble in, maybe playing with some clay, or whatever that, maybe writing some music or something where, and Cancer, I do feel that this is to not let these challenges, because I like that wild love in this card, and I feel like those things that you really do enjoy, and the things that like your passions, because we're getting ready to, after we get out of this ocean, I almost feel like this is like the waves, we're swimming towards that portal there, Cancer, which is going to be Aries season, where the energy start taking off again, when we start livening up. But while we're still in that dreamy space, I feel like this is a time to not let that wild love be washed by all of this Pisces energy, because it can be one of letting go a lot of sensitivity that's going on with this energy as well. And I feel like for Cancerian energy as well, that is particularly, can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. So making sure to do some self-care, I feel, as well, while I was talking about Queen of Cups. So, but let's get some tarot on this, Cancer, and get some details with this. And just even thinking with that dispositor, Jupiter, I like, because Taurus, the moon's exalted in Taurus, our ruler. So, I feel that this is, because, Sagittarius is one of, again, taking in they're one of growth and optimism and just looking to be inspired, and always like there's always something new that life can offer, some way that they can elevate their consciousness in a sense. And I feel that this is, again, take the time and really enjoy all the aspects of this, even some of the tougher times, because they show you what you're made of, Cancer. And that's dope. But let me get some, thank you, yourself. Let's see what's going on here, Cancer. All right, so you have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and then you have the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Magician here, Cancer. And I really like this, Cancer. So with this Six of Pentacles here, I feel that this is being mindful of, since we're talking about opening your heart there, Cancer, I do feel there is this energy of being mindful of just like, how much are you giving of yourself? How much do you sacrifice your passions, your dreams, maybe even experiencing love, Cancer, getting out there and going out for a date even, or something like that. And just being very mindful. The Six of Pentacles can be this card of reciprocity. And I almost feel that this is, because with like Saturn, I'm thinking about Saturn and Pisces. And one of the lessons that Saturn's doing that's bringing in Pisces is making sure that we're protecting ourselves energetically, and how we exchange with others, and not just with people, But I feel like this is even thinking about a little bit of a different way. I'm just thinking about that Venus squared Uranus and Taurus. It's like we're thinking about newer ways about how we value our resources, how we value our time in that challenges, as far as like, because it's not just money. Time is a resource. Your obviously your material things are a resource, whether your mental energy, if this is something that's eating up a lot of that, like that's something that is even, I feel like we're thinking about, Cancer. And I feel like that the Seven of Swords here, where yes, it can be a card of trickery and deception, but I like to think of it as a card too of like it's like of resources, or like finding alternative ways of doing things here, Cancer. And I feel this Seven of Swords is revealing this truth about something. Maybe we're seeing how certain things we're putting stuff in and we're not getting the same type of return. So this, I feel like, invites you to, and I love this. Venus being in an air sign, Uranus being in an earth sign while I'm talking about this and making this analogy. I feel this gives you a chance, an opportunity to take your ideas or take these things that we're analyzing here, and how do we build from that? How do we open our heart to let more love in, to let more things, to start manifesting, to just start creating? Ask yourself, Cancer, look, this infinity sign that's flowing through this figure's hand here. What gets you in the flow, Cancer? What helps you what's that look like when you're just going and you're doing a thing that hours can pass by, and you've been creating all of this stuff, whether this be writing, this could be music, this could be, maybe you're doing some house stuff, like maybe you're doing like painting, maybe this is cooking, maybe this is swimming, maybe this is walking, but I just feel like it's making more time for that and bringing more stuff, like, the things that you say, like you wish that you could do with the Nine of Cups here. I wish that I did this. I wish I had more time for that. I wish. Well, then, pick one of the wishes, and then let's start making that stuff happen. Because the interesting the thing that I'm just kind of thinking about with this last quarter moon that's happening, with the moon being in Sagittarius, the sun being in Pisces, both are ruled by Jupiter. There is this, and granted, Neptune is the modern ruler of of Pisces, but these two go back, Pisces and Sagittarius, where they are opposite elements, or very even very even tough elements to even. I feel there's an easier blend here, even with this square, since it's happening in mutable energy, that we're just needing to be a bit more flexible, I feel, with how we may be, again, utilizing our resources in a sense. This is, again, a time to think outside of the box a bit with I feel like with this energy. And the Seven of Swords, just one more thing with this, Cancer, usually there's this figure that's running away from something. You see, even this figure, he's got 5 swords with him, but there's 2 that's being left behind, and I feel like these 2 are kind of important things as far as like what you can do to make more time for you, and again, let more love in. And this could even be to making more love, maybe even for the people that we're being involved with as well, their Cancer. Maybe we haven't had enough time to spend with our families because there's this imbalance. So however that may be translating for you, Cancer. But let's get some more tarot on this. Oh, look at these kings. All right, Cancer. Take care of yourself. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, wow, look at all these kings. So you have the King of Wands in reverse. Then you have the 10 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Cups here. Let's talk about this King of Wands, which is Sagittarius energy for me. And how interesting. Because oh, no, jumped the gun. It's fine. This is still Sag energy, this 10 of Wands here. But the King of Wands, I feel that this is that combination of what I'm talking about with that how this Sagittarius energy is partnered with this Taurus energy that's coming through there with Jupiter. I know this might be a lot, here that I'm throwing Cancer, but I feel that this energy with this King of Wands is, again, being just mindful of how we're spending our energies. The kings for me are this wisdom that they're the final of the minor cards. They're that last until we get to the majors. They're at that top, and I feel there's this energetic wisdom that's coming through here because the King of Wands has so much energy to give. And the King of Wands, he refuels his energy by following his passions, following his stuff. You know, I feel this reason maybe, because maybe even for some Cancer, there's been this kind of low energy that's been going on. You've either been, I'm feeling for some, either we've been feeling a lot, you know, or been feeling just maybe overburdened, or maybe just been, yeah, just like just really just maybe been just kind of you know, just because this is again a very sensitive time, or yeah, sensitive time for Cancer and just water energy, you know, in general, because again Pisces is forming those trines, and yes, it's again a harmonious energy, but that harmony sometimes takes a minute to get used to. Sometimes it could come in very fast, but I do feel Cancer. This Five of Cups is giving me this sort of drained type of energy that's just sort of, just kind of, life is just a bit blah, you know, a bit meh, you know, just sort of bland. And that moon in Sag is looking for, the moon Sag doesn't do bland, you know, the moon Sag spices things up, you know, it gets to this place, it pays attention to, and this is something to Cancer, even thinking about this letting go. What are some routines that you may have been doing that have not been something that has been conducive to your energy, something that has become more of a burden than it has been something that keeps you stable in a sense? And I feel like this is you getting this new sense of kind of grounded in what you're doing. But because I like this King of Cups and King of Pentacles, but it feels that in order to get to that place where we have this sort of, like, I almost feel like emotional security and even the sort of like physical security that's coming through here. We have to be mindful with how you're spending your energies, you know, and see how they're all kind of connected. When one portion is off, it's all off, you know, there, Cancer. So again, open your heart, you know, be in that subjective place, go into that Cancerian energy. Look at how the King of Cups, I'm just looking at how he's just comfortably, he's throned on this body of water, on this ocean. And you know, Cancerian energy is just an ocean of emotions, you know, just constantly flowing through. And so, you know, yeah, this is a time I feel like, again, like an invitation, I feel, even with that Magician card, to get in a different flow of who you are there, Cancer. It's very interesting. But all right, Cancer, let's get some advice from Big Papa. Oh, and sidebar, Cancer, speaking of Big Papa, Jupiter's exalted in our sign. So this is fantastic energy to be going through. You know, if we're going to be forming having something where there's all this square energy, you know, it's nice to be supported by Big Papa Jupiter there. But all right, Cancer, thank you, herself. Let's see what this last little bit is here. Oh, and here's Wifey. Who's, you may ask? King of Pentacles, because you have the lovely Queen of Pentacles here, the Six of Swords, the Two of Wands upright, and then you have the Three of Cups, and then the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Cancer. And let's switch back over, because I feel with this energy there, Cancer, let's talk about the lovely Queen of Pentacles for a moment, because I feel with this is about, because again, like the Pentacles, you know, they deal, like I was saying, more than just your finances. The Pentacles can deal with your health as well there, Cancer. And I feel like the Queen is inviting you to just kind of check in and see if there are some things that you can, where'd that go? Oh, there we go. if there are some different ways that you can go about, I feel like caring for yourself with this Nine of Pentacles being in reverse here. This is giving me this, because that's a kind of this sort of self-sufficient energy. And I almost feel there's been, you see this albino peacock here? I feel there's been this lack of color here, Cancer. There's been this sort of zestless, ness. I'm not sure if that, I don't feel like that's a word. But there's been this lack of zest maybe in life as of late. Or, and that's something too, even Cancer. I'm gonna bookmark that, but I feel that part of this is just a need to check in, because the Nine of Pentacles is a very individual type of energy as well. It's looking at how it is, I feel like, in relationship with yourself. How are things going in? Are you attuned with what's going on, or have we been kind of checked out here? And another part, which I feel is very interesting, because with this Three of Cups kind of being here, this Six of Swords, I do feel for some that maybe we're in this place of where it's like you either want to maybe make a little more time for you, and that might be where some people may have some sort of, may feel some type of way about that, Cancer, with the Three of Cups being in reverse here. But I don't feel like it's necessarily that you're just trying to ignore them, but I just feel like it's just like you're dividing your time up again a little bit more, like how we were talking about here earlier. But there's something here that I feel, even with the Six of Swords, that if we're going to get to a certain place, there is this evaluation possibly of either with the people that we may be hanging around, possibly, or even the environment that you happen to be in. This could be those that I feel are kind of enmeshed in your energies there, Cancer. Because the Three of Cups, it can be a pretty intimate card, but that's even one way. And I'm even feeling with this too, Cancer, with that open your heart and that mothers of the salt water. This could even be, I feel, for some, maybe even a need to get out there with the Two of Wands being here. Like if you've been in this sort of like reclusive energy, maybe there's been this time where it's time to see how the solo work on yourself translates in the crowd there, Cancer. Because I'm going back, because I remember talking about the albino peacock, but then it's like the thought had went away from me. But there's that lack of color, and I feel like there's even for some a need to maybe kind of stand out in the crowd, maybe even a little bit there, Cancer. Be a little more, I don't feel like necessarily put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, but trust that, if you've had that fear of like, oh, well, no one will talk to me, or no one will do this. It's like, because I feel like everyone has that fear, Cancer. That doesn't mean that you don't do it. You give it a try anyway. There are times where I'm not feeling it, but I'm just like, you know what? You are going to be you're the poor victim or winner, depending on how this goes. And we're just going to kind of roll with it and see how it translates. But a very interesting energy that's coming through with this, Cancer, but just something to think about. But I feel like the Cancer, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this thing, Cancer, if you know someone who may be either not making enough time for themselves or needing to let love in, maybe even been feeling a little jaded, possibly, Cancer, however this may be kind of looking there. But, if you've been feeling like maybe they've been kind of cloistered in their shell or something like that. And then subscribe there, you magician. Hit that bell button to get notified about these videos each day. And then, actually, I'm thinking about switching something up, just like a little bit there, Cancer. I think you'll enjoy it. But yeah, last few things there, Cancer. Yeah, if you want to book a personal reading with me, this would be with your tarot cards, or if this is with your astrology chart. Combination of the two there, Cancer. I love blending the two. That's been a very fun mix. But yeah, if that's something that you find yourself interested in there, Cancer, want to even book a reading with me. Down in the all that information's down in the description box and in the bio of my Instagram. I trust you to find that, Cancer. I need to look at that and get that sentence down. But also, Cancer, after we're done checking that stuff, check your sun, moon, rising, Venus, Jupiter. Come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos there, which are kind of like talk about the astronomical weather. That's a cool one there. I really enjoyed that one. Then Celestial News Monthly, which will be coming out here soon. And then there's yearly ones that I do as well. They're Cancer. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, Cancer. Ooh, so I can get you out of here. So you have the Six of Cups here, Cancer. And, Cancer, this could be where I was talking about for some who've been keeping themselves maybe in this shell or been in this kind of almost like even like a hermit type of mode. This could be where needing to share some experiences with others. Possibly get out there, maybe socialize a little bit. And even if you don't feel like social, even just like maybe getting comfortable just being amongst people, if that's something, however this may be translating, Cancer. But I even feel for some here too that if there's something like a passion or something that we may have wanted to revisit from the past, that you can make new memories. Like that's one thing I like about the Six of Cups, where yes, it can be a card of the past, but it doesn't have to be where we're stuck in it. We can let these memories be a motivator that we can make more, that it's not just always when we're stuck in a tough type of time, getting in a square energy, for example, that again this stays forever. We can find where we can use this stuff to motivate us in different types of ways there, Cancer. But hey, let me get your other oracle card here, Cancer, so I can get you out of here. All right. Thank you yourself. Let's see what's going on in Cancer. Oh, and we're gonna be. Oh wait, no, never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself. But Cancer, you have the full moon, and I'm still excited. You have the full moon and Pisces card here, Cancer, which is the card of forgive. And whatever this is with this let love in, Cancer, if there's something here that we've been beating ourselves up with, or because Pisces season is a time for forgiveness. We're getting ready to get into this new moon. What do you want? We're getting ready to forgive. What can we let go so that we can, that you don't have to carry around anymore? 10 of Wands. And forgive that part of you, or forgive that person that we may have felt this sort of disappointment for, been let down, maybe been lied to, whatever this is looking like. Where we may have had some kind of split. But I feel that this is why put our energies into things that are no longer serving us a purpose. When the past is done, it's done. But it's just like, what are we learning from that? One, we can learn to forgive. That can be a very, very powerful start there, Cancer. That's King of Cups all day. That's real emotional wisdom, and it's difficult. It's like trying to sit a chair on some water and sit comfortably while your fish is flying next to you. But it is possible, Cancer. It may seem wild, but we're in a wild, innovative time. So, but yeah, Cancer, I like this. So, but you stay safe out there, Cancer. With all this energy, this wild love, all these aspects and things that are going on. Hopefully, take care of your energy. Be mindful of what you're ingesting there, Cancer. Keep eyes on the moon. We still got a little bit of light left there, Cancer, before this new moon, before we got to get intuitive and sense her again. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.